Hey, good question. So when a lot of people learn about the success rate of the Sinclair Method as a treatment for alcohol use disorder, which has a clinically proven 78% success rate, they want to know about the 22% that it doesn't work for. I know for me and others, we were afraid we were going to be part of that 22% it doesn't work for. So a portion of the 22% includes people who were simply not compliant with the treatment, meaning they were not taking the medication correctly or taking it 100% of the time. The other percentage of those people were people who, per Dr. Sinclair, said that they had learned their alcohol use disorder in a different reward system in the brain than what the naltrexone works to target, because the naltrexone blocks the opioid receptors. So a part of these 22% of people who it didn't work for have learned alcohol use disorder in another way. I have seen this treatment work for people who are daily drinkers, all-day drinkers. There are more challenges with that because often there is such like an ingrained habit and ritual around that. So there can be challenges, but I've certainly seen it work for people who have that drinking pattern. And I've also seen it work for people who have mild, moderate, or even severe alcohol use disorder. So I hope that does help. I think oftentimes when it doesn't work for somebody, the most common challenge goes back to compliance, people just not willing to take the medication correctly because the alcohol buzz is different on naltrexone. It's not as rewarding. I like to drink more on naltrexone because I had control, and I've heard others say that as well. But for some people, they miss that euphoric buzz or they just want to numb out, and so they will not take the naltrexone sometimes. So, this method really can work for almost anyone if given enough time to work. And like with anything, if the individual is motivated enough to really, put in the work to change their drinking habits. We often tell people in our program that naltrexone and the Sinclair Method are 50% of it. The other 50% is lifestyle, habit, behavior changes. Another common challenge people have on this method is if they're really relying on alcohol as a coping tool and they're having a hard time letting it go as that, and they're not really being proactive about developing different coping tools or different habits. But if someone's really motivated to make this change, and we typically tell people to give it a year just so there's realistic expectations around how long this will take. If they're motivated and they're willing to give it time and they're focused on setting small goals week over week and month over month, most people are going to see success. But that's why we created our program as well, because, it's more than just simply taking a pill and waiting for it to do all of the work. We really have to engage in the process as well, like I said, with changing habits and coping tools and things like that. If you want to check out more resources about the Sinclair Method, check out the link in my bio where I have a lot of different resources on this method. Thank you for the question.